Good morning, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for showing up to yourself. That's the only thing to remember these days is that remaining quiet is what is called the wisdom insight. To remain quiet is to resolve the mind in your true self. So it's all about how you can treat yourself. Isn't that something? Christ said, love one another. But he also said that love is the number one commandment in those laws called the commandments. So, anyways, it's going to be a day of just musing and flooding ourselves with self-love, which will lead automatically to universal love and the love of everyone, especially, you know, I just read a quote from Khalil Gibran that blew my mind. May I share it with you? Um, I never heard such a quote. So I'm going to share it with you. He said, I have found both freedom and safety. I have found both freedom and safety in my madness. Yeah. Hey, it's okay to be yourself. That's what it says to me. He says, I have found both freedom and safety in my madness. Then he explains it. He said, the freedom of loneliness, this is his madness. It's the freedom of loneliness. And this is a doozy here. And the safety from being understood. All of us want to be understood. Now he's saying, I find my my greatest happiness or my madness in being understood. And why does he say that? He says, for those who understand us, for those who seem to understand us, enslave something within us. Isn't that crazy good in some ways? In kind of a way you would never ever think about, that when people think they understand you, it's just from whatever mindset they have going. And in some ways, it can be enslaving. You know how it is. Familiarity breeds contempt. All right, close your eyes, my dears. Settle into yourself, your glorious, light filled self. And you are the spectator. You are in the upper part of the movie house, in a little booth that is all your own, looking out and realizing this is such a dream. This is such a crazy experience that we are having, getting caught up in this phantasmagoria when we can get crazy, crazy madness around the fact that who we are in truth. Wherever you think about yourself, however you think about yourself, that who you are is everything. So I have a little quote here before I get into the crux of the matter this morning. And this says, close your eyes, my dears, beyond duality. So as you sit in that booth in the theater of life, way up in the upper seats, you got a private booth and you're witnessing what? Yourself. Know this, that most people we mostly live, my dears, all of us, within the push and pull of opposites. The push and the pull of opposites. Light and dark, good and bad, right and wrong. And we're taught to choose sides, to pick one, to fight against the other, the light against the dark and the dark against the light. But there is another path, a rarer one. It is the path of Alchemist, one who does not reject the dark nor glorify the light. but transforms through both the dark and the light. It is the path of the axis walker, the axis, the axis, the axis walker. One who no longer belongs to polarity, but has become the still point around which all spins. That's why remaining quiet is what is called wisdom insight, my dears. That you are the still point around which the dark and the light go after each other. So to walk this path is to feel confusion, contradiction, even isolation. To be an axis walker, like on the axis of the cutting edge of duality. So now we're talking about the unity. To walk this path may feel confusion, contradiction, even isolation, but eventually clarity emerges. You realize here is a little wisdom nugget for you, or the wisdom insight, as Ramana calls it. Here it is. You are not light, you are not dark. You, my dears, are the awareness. You're the awareness. Remember, you're up on that highest booth, the best seat in the house, witnessing yourself and what is in that heart of yours and what is in that mind of yours. You are the awareness, though. You're not the dark, you're not the light. You are the awareness that sees both. That sees both, non-judgmentally. You are the choice between the two, my dears, and the space between the two. Infinite space. Formless are you. Infinite are you. We have nothing to do with this movie house. We're just here to watch it. We're here to just be settled in this still point within us. And in this other idea that I will share in a minute, give you some time to grok what I've already said. And we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about love. If you want to know one thing and one thing only, as Hafiz says, today we're going to talk about love. And tomorrow we're going to talk about love. And the day after, we're going to talk about love. It all comes back to that unifying, unbelievable, infinite love of the reality of source, of who you really are. You are that. So breathe love, my dears. Exhale love, my dears. And continue with one focus now in your busy lives. Love. Love in and love out. Breathe in, breathe out. Love in, love out. Forget everything else. We've never had it so good, my dears, in this moment of love. We've never had it so good as in this moment of love, because perfect love casts out all our fears. Love in, love out. No more fear. And as someone once said, it's all love. It's all love. Arguing over the right way misses the point. It's all love. Arguing about the right way misses the point. And if it's hard to remember love, my dears, it's because we have forgotten all about this beautiful organ right in the center of our chest, right in that side of the chest called the heart. And if you want to know where your heart is, look where your mind goes when it wanders. That's where your heart is. Look where it goes when it wanders. That's from Walt Whitman. So let's fill the magic cup of our being right now, okay? With one thing, love. These are just thoughts about love, my dears, that I'm going to share with you to fill up the magic cup of your being, which is already love. So, this is a great remembrance. This is kind of a blessing we're having this morning from love herself to remember that this is the season for love. It's always the season for love. It's always the time for love. So sit back in your booth of witnessing the amazingness of yourself, that you are able to just be here now and be filled up with the magic of love, because this is going to help us remember some very, very, very most important priorities. So there's a pattern. There is a pattern, my dears, in the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, that is so simple. This is simple. It almost feels insulting once you realize it. Like begets like. It is written plainly, very plainly in the Holy Scriptures, the sutras, whatever way we want to say that. It's written plainly that God is love. God is love. Receive that. It is also written in the holiest of scriptures, just as plainly, that we are created in the image of the Creator. And if like begets like, then the conclusion is unavoidable. It's not conditionally by nature. It's not conditionally by human nature. It's unconditional by divine nature. And love is not something we are meant to achieve, my dear. So sit back in that seat as you witness what is dark and what is light. And you just witness them as an alchemist. So love is not something we are meant to achieve. It's something we are meant to remember. And if love is the nature of God, so we're using some of our reason. And there's a reason to use our reason here. If love is the nature of God and we are made in that image, then love should be, and I know some of you don't like to hear the word should, then love, though, should be our baseline, our default orientation. You slip slide, you react, you get bummed out, default. Come back to love in and love out. Our default orientation, our backup plan. The ground state of being human. It's the ground state of being human. That love is our baseline. Because, my dears, that alone reframes nearly everything people think Christianity is about and other religions are all about. So What I'm sharing with you this morning is not a fringe reading. This is straight. This is straight from the mouth of Christ. They came to him and asked a question people are still asking today. And even if they dress it up differently, the question is, and you've probably heard this, Lord, Lord, which commandment matters the most? Which one do we really need to get right? Remember, all is love. Arguing over the right way misses the point. So here we are. The question was given to Jesus. Which one do we really need to get right? He didn't hesitate. Christ didn't list 10 things. He did not reference 613. He gave two. He gave two. Number one, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. Remember that? Remember that from your upbringing? When they asked him, what's the highest commandment? He gave two answers. Number one, love the Lord your God with all your heart. I love you with all of my mind. I love you with all my heart. I love you with all of my strength. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you with all my heart. So that's the first one. Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength. You want to know the second, my dear, since you have such a great seat in the temple of your understanding, which in this case is not to enslave you, but your understanding to awaken you. So the second, he said, is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Remember? Start with number one, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength. And number two, love your neighbor as yourself. This is the best day of the rest of our forever, my dears. That we can sit here and just indulge ourselves in remembrance, indulging ourselves in remembrance. So, not separate, not secondary. Are these two wisdom insights that Christ gives us? And then, my dears, if there's still confusion in your mind, and so to remove all remaining confusion, in the upper room, he gives a final commandment directly to his disciples. In the upper room, he gives a final commandment directly to his disciples. You ready? So this is kind of number three. It's like love your neighbor as yourself, but it's said this way. Love one another. Love one another. Love one another. You at odds with some people, you're having a hard time getting along with others. Well, this is a perfect stream for us. Let's don't miss the point. Let's don't argue over this. Love one another. Let this be how people know you. Not by your theology, not by your purity, not by your rituals, but by your love, my dears. By your love. Love in, love out. And that's the breath. Love in, love out. How many people actually know that this is what Christ said and all the law and the prophets hinge on? Very few people understand that. That all the divine laws and prophets hinge on. Not belief, my dears, not sacrifice, not atonement, but love. And that word hinge matters. It means everything else swings on it. Everything else swings on love. Everything else. Remove love and the entire structure collapses. Keep love. Keep love, and your life organizes itself. What? No longer missing the point. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for some people. So thank you for being here, because it should be uncomfortable for us to have forgotten such amazing truth as we are sharing this morning, or remembrances of what's so important. Because if love is the baseline, then sin is no longer the centerpiece of the story. Misalignment with love is, forgetting is, stepping out of our nature is. And we could be overwhelmed with the science of this. We could talk about how love regulates the nervous system, lowers stress hormones, increases cognitive flexibility, improves immune function, and literally changes how the brain processes reality. Love in, love out. But honestly, that is not the most important part. The most important thing to say is this: love is not an emotion. The emotions people associate with love are side effects. They are what happens when you are in resonance with your lower nature. But when you're aligned with the current of the Creator, you are in tune. And that is why love feels so expansive. That is why fear feels constricting. One is alignment, the other is resistance. Life really is this simple, my dears. Be simple. Does not mean be easy. Nothing worth doing is easy. Learning to love everything is not easy. Loving everything does not mean approving of harm or abandoning discernment. It means recognizes that nothing exists outside the reach of the divine spark. And every soul carries it, every one. You're sparking right now, majorly. And that is the lesson of the New Testament. This morning, we're hearing the lesson of the New Testament. Whether people want to admit it or not, it is said plainly, over and over, without apology. Whoever does not love does not know God. Wow. Whoever does not love does not know God. Whoever says they love God but does not love their fellow human is a liar. That is not metaphor, that is diagnosis. And this is where question naturally arises. If the scriptures were truly about atonement as the central theme, why does the word appear only once in the New Testament? Just once. And yet the word love appears well over 100 times. What does that tell us about what the message actually was? Just a little bit more, my dears. Just fill up the magic cup of your being with who you already are, with this love force, with this remembrance, with this return to alignment, remembering who we are, coming home to love as our original state. Light begets light. God is love. We are made in that image. Therefore, love, in some ways, is not the goal, but it's the ground we keep forgetting we are standing on. It's the ground, it's the foundation. That we're standing on. So, finally, my dears, this is not a soft message in some ways this morning. It is a demanding one because it leaves no room for exclusion, does it? No room for enemies, does it? No room for exceptions, does it? But it's also the most honest reading of the text there is. Love one another. Let this be how people know you. Everything else is commentary. And it ends by saying, Namaste. Love in, love out. Fill up this magic cup of your divine essence. Love one another as love loves us. Blessings be, my dears. Blessings be on this holy season, which is every season. And you are the reason for the seasons, not the other way around. There's only love. Let's don't argue then. So we miss the point. There's only love. Thank you, each of you, so much for absorbing this morning as best you could, or whatever you were reflecting on this morning. May it come true. If you were reflecting on even the littlest aspect of love this morning, you are mightily blessed, mightily blessed. We are mightily blessed, my dears, just for hearing or remembering the highest laws of our existence. So we thank you, O Christ. We thank you, O Spirit. We thank you, our souls. We thank you, Divine Mother. We thank you, love. We thank you, love, for being love. We are so loved. Everyone is so loved. Everything is love. And we are so grateful for this. There is, quite frankly, no other options. All there is love. So thank you, my dears. My glasses started to fall off. My God, glasses. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Narayan, Lisa, Cami, for your beautiful listening presence this morning. So let's do our little mantra, if you so desire, and bring up and just have a good view from the seat of your soul into this phantasmagoria of daily life. If you want to look outward, but you look inward and it's all magic, it's all love. So we love, and that brings us into this compassionate caring, right? For the whole everything. We don't have a right and we don't have a wrong. We're not the light, we're not the dark. We are aware of both. How's that? You are much more than taking a side. You are the love of God, Himself, herself, itself. So that's why you can be this beautiful lighthouse, this beautiful glowing person when you are with others or just walking in nature or being alone, right? Be like Gibran, be mad. Really embrace your madness, my dears, all right? Because you're the only one that can understand you in the way that we're talking about right now this morning, all right? No one else. Sometimes we just put us in a little, this is who you are. Well, only you know that for sure, who you really are. So thank you. Have the glorious day, magnificent life, and be very, 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 very happy today for no reason, even though it's the season. All right. Just be in love. Let's all give that a go. All right. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for listening. Big hug on that doggy of yours. Tara, say hello to Ottawa for me and everyone else. We are connected big time. Love is all there is. Thank you, my dears, for showing up. Made my life again. Thank you for that. Big time. All right. Love you all. Namaste. Aho. Woohoo, Marty. Another one under our belts, Marty. Good job. Good job, man. Man, woman. Beautiful souls. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Off to the land of love. Namaste. All right. How cool is this?